What's up everyone? Welcome back to Tony's Reef Keeping. In this video I'm going to talk about my Apex system. It's the Apex Classic, and I'm going to talk about how I have it set up and what kind of alerts and programs I have built into it. But before we get started with that, I just want to give a shout out to Ian. He's a local reefing buddy of mine. He basically did all of the coding for me because before this system, I had no other controllers, and I knew very little about them, and I knew next to nothing about programming and coding. So I just want to give a shout out to Ian. All right, so let's get started. Let's talk about temperature control. Right now I have my temperature between 80 and 80.5, and how I'm able to achieve that is through a couple of clip-on fans. Right now it's summertime and it gets really hot in Arizona, and even though I have my ambient temperature set at 78, my AC set at 78, my tank will still rise over 82, 83 if I didn't have any sort of fans on it. So basically, if for some reason these fans fail and the temperature continues to rise, I'm going to get an alert. And it's also going to shut off my UV sterilizer and my display lights. So basically the alert's going to allow me to try to remedy the situation before it gets any worse. The same is true in winter time. If the temperature gets too low, I'm going to get that alert. So next, let's talk about the various speed ports, V1 and V2. I have two Tunsies hooked up to that. I plan on hooking up an additional two to V3 and V4. Currently I have two other Tunsi pumps in my tank, but they're on stock controllers. Okay, so next let's talk about this doser here. I'm dosing 2-part, and the fear with a lot of people that dose 2-part is that if your doser gets stuck on and dumps the alkalinity portion of your 2-part into your tank, you're going to get that spike. And with that spike, you're also going to get a pH spike. So I have my Apex set up to turn this doser off if the pH gets to a certain level. And it's also going to send me that alert to let me know that something's wrong with my tank. All right, so next let's talk about the breakout box down here. I have a total of 4 float switches hooked up to it. The first 2 are over here in my return chamber. Obviously that bottom one's gonna set the level, and it's gonna turn on my ATO once it opens and lets the ATO know that the level's low and I need more top off water. And obviously the second one, the top one there, is the fail safe. Once that triggers, which it has twice already, because that bottom switch gets jammed up sometimes with like a vermeted snail or something. That top one is gonna shut off my ATO. It's also gonna send me that alert to let me know something's wrong. And it's also going to shut off my skimmer. Now the reason why I have it shutting off the skimmer is because if this return pump fails, my level is going to rise to about over here, and at that level my skimmer is going to overflow. So speaking of the skimmer, that's where I have my next float switch, right there in the collection cup. That's obviously to tell me that the collection cup's full and needs to be emptied. And when that's the case, I'm going to get that alert to let me know to do that. And it's also going to shut off the skimmer so that it doesn't continue to run and overflow. And the 4th switch is in my ATO reservoir here. Obviously that's to tell me that I need to fill up my reservoir. And it's also going to shut off my aqua lifter ATO pump so that it doesn't run dry. Now some of you might be wondering if it's okay to have wires underwater like that. Well, this is just RODI water, and it's not going to corrode that. I've done this on a past system for years and never had problems with it. So I think that's about it. I'm pretty sure I have it doing other things, but I just can't remember at the moment. But that's the main things, the fail safes that are built into it, and the alerts I get when something happens. So if you're a Apex guru and you have some cool codes and some cool controls, and you think I might benefit from it, go ahead and leave me a comment in the comment section, and a thumbs up if you like this video. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.